Checkout. Savings vary based on purchase amount. While supplies last, about 7/14 through 7/20.
Sweet, juicy Jersey Fresh peaches and nectarines are now in season. I'm Secretary of Ag Doug Fisher reminding you to ask for our fabulous Jersey Fresh peaches today at your favorite market. Want the best? Ask for local Jersey Fresh produce.
South Jersey's play-by-play home for the Eagles,
touchdown!
Sixers, and Flyers.
He scored!
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app. Now, live from the Matt Black Kia Studios.
What a move!
Here's Josh Hennig.
Friday edition of Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM. I am hanging out with you for a Friday edition of the show. 1 hour, you and me. And join the text board. 609-403-0973 on the text board. You can DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle City. Phillies back in action tonight. They got the 3-game set down in Miami. What is at stake this weekend? We will get into that. Plus, this report just came out this afternoon, and I didn't see it earlier today, but I'm seeing it now. Mark Stein is reporting some news about the 76ers. So we will get to that report. Plus, just some thoughts on the British Open Day 2 in the books, as well as some bigger picture Philly sports thoughts, and I have to give credit to where credit is due. The mindset I'm walking into this show with today is sourced off of two extremely different conversations I've heard this week. Because this week, I heard Mike Gill and Ryan Rothstein talking about the Philly sports teams earlier this week. And that's why we made the poll that we did that popped up. And that got a very interesting vote outcome. On the flip side, Billy Schwein was talking to me, host of the Locker Room, about something to do with Philadelphia sports. And I felt like it was almost like a time and place meeting of the minds thing going on. So I'm going to get to all that in just a bit. But I want to get the Sixers news out of the way, because I'm not going to ignore the story, but I am going to downplay it. All right. So longtime NBA insider Mark Stein is reporting that the NBA right now is placing the Sixers under an investigation microscope, his words, not mine, because of the PJ Tucker signing. The NBA is looking into any early free agent discussions, and this comes in the aftermath of the Miami Heat, who last year were docked a second-round pick because of their sign-and-trade acquisition of Kyle Lowry. Well, it looks like that there may have been some illegal contact on some level between the Sixers and PJ Tucker. Now, as we know, players are allowed to talk to each other. The league does not regulate that at all. But the bigger issue is that Daryl Morey has a history of getting in trouble with these things. Remember, he had the tweet last year that got him in trouble and got him fined by the league. Okay? You have a situation where, remember, the NBA fined Daryl Morey, what was it, $75,000 for violating the league's anti-tampering rule. Okay? So, and this is not the first time the Morey's been in trouble. He's been fined $50,000 before that. So, is there a possibility that Daryl Morey may have or may not have had some sort of conversation or contact with PJ Tucker and his agent before he was supposed to? I'm sure there's a possibility. I don't think Keith Pompey got the news that he broke a week plus before free agency opened, where do those numbers come from? Is it just the agent telling the Sixers what he would want? You have to wonder, where does this conversation come from? And that's where I kind of jump in and I just say enough is enough. All right. First of all, the NBA is a league that is a bunch of hypocrites when it comes to how they handle their business. Okay. They want player empowerment. They want players to be equal partners with them. They want the players to be allowed to go out there and do what's best for them and their careers and their lives and all that stuff. But then you get mad when these guys work behind the scenes to get things done. Okay? Look, PJ Tucker was probably going to come to the Sixers whether there was tampering or not, because James Harden is here, because the Sixers basically offered PJ Tucker more than anybody else could. Part of the reason why he left Miami was because it's not like Miami is blowing him away financially. So he came to Philadelphia, he gets a nice payday, and he gets to join guys that he's familiar with. This idea that the league has to investigate the Sixers and Daryl Morey for tampering is a joke, because every year people are tampering. It happens in all sports when it comes to free agency. So I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh man, look at the Sixers interfering. In fact, if you're a Sixers fan, you should be glad that they're tampering. You should be glad that they're bending the rules, because you know why? Enough is enough with the way sports are going in this city. And that's where it relates to the conversation has been gestating in my head. One of the things we talked about this week is the state of Philadelphia sports, okay? Because Phillies right now on a 4-game losing streak. Flyers miss out on Johnny Gaudreau. Sixers are finishing up Summer League, and they're going to be basically on hiatus for what is practically 2 months. And the Eagles are just a couple weeks away from training camp. There is no way that I'm going to get up here on this microphone and ignore the fact that Philadelphia sports have a longer, deeper history of not winning championships than winning championships. That's not a slight. That's not a negative. It's just a state of fact. We are at a point with this city where, as Billy Schwein was saying to me, there's a lot of heat going on out there. And when Ryan and Mike Gill talked earlier this week about, teams that reached the championship game, right? Mike Gill talked to Kembe Mutombo this week, an amazing, great interview that he had with the Basketball Hall of Famer. He was part of that 2001 Sixers team, the 2004 Eagles team, the 93 and 2009 Phillies team, the 97 and 2010 Flyers teams. All these teams got to the championship but couldn't win it. And so if you're in a city where you are aware that the 76ers have been the one NBA Finals in the last 22 years, they've won one championship in their entire franchise history, that the city of Philadelphia as a whole has won 1, 2, 3, 4 championships since 1980. 2 by the Phillies, 1 by the Eagles, 1 by the Sixers. Flyers haven't won diddly squat since the 70s. Yeah. If you got to cut some corners to go out and get PJ Tucker and get yourself fined $75,000 or $100,000 when you're a multi-millionaire, who cares? I'm glad you're tampering. I'm glad you're cutting corners. Because if you're a Philadelphia sports fan, you got to be sick and tired of people like Chuck Fletcher giving excuses. If you're a Philadelphia sports fan, you don't want to hear from Dave Dombrowski how, well, we got to balance the interests of this organization moving forward. You don't want to hear any of that. Here's the reality. The reality is is that if you are a fan of a sports fan of any team that has not won in a long time, and you care about winning, you don't care what it takes to get to the promised land. Now, if you're a fan that's just fair weather and just goes to the games for the fun of it, that's different. Then, maybe the conversation that we're having is a little different for you. Or if you're a fan that, is invested in things that are not winning, then that's fine. But Philadelphia sports fans they're not fair weather fans. They want to win. They don't just come and go as the wind blows. All right. You go to a city like Atlanta where basically half the city doesn't care. You go to certain places in this country, listen, people don't care like they do here in Philadelphia or New York or Boston or certain other cities. Like, for example, let's throw out there Cleveland. Cleveland Brown fans are nuts, right? St. Louis Cardinal fans are extremely passionate. There are other fan bases that have this passion. And if you are a fan that is sick and tired of the excuses, you look at Daryl Morey potentially getting in trouble for tampering again, and you say, good for Daryl Morey. That's about right. Who cares if you got to pay that fine? Pay that fine. Get that player. Go win me a championship. Get me my parade. Get me my good times roll. This idea that, oh man, Daryl Morey tampered. Oh man, what is it? What's more important? Is it winning a championship or following all the rules to the T? Look at college sports. Players and coaches have been manipulating the rules at the collegiate level for decades. Now, all of a sudden, NIL comes in and people freak out. And I say, all that's happening is everything that was happening in the dark and behind the scenes is now out in the open and the light is being shown on. All right? That's the only difference. It's just the optics of it. That's what bothers people. And that's why I say with this as well. Look, we're in a city right now where the Flyers could have gotten one of the top free agents available, a guy who is a bona fide star in this league, a borderline superstar, and he could sit there and say, I want to come to Philadelphia, and you know what you did? You did nothing. You did nothing because you're pathetic. The Flyers organization is a faceless, nameless, nobody corporate monster that is owning the team without giving it direction, doesn't have the business sense to get the deal done. That's the bigger part that bothers me. If your goal is to meet your bottom line, you sign Johnny Gaudreau, you sell jerseys, you sell more tickets. Period. You told the fans when you brought in John Tortorella, a guy who has won a championship, that you were going to be an aggressive retool this offseason. Well, you might have been a retool, but it certainly wasn't aggressive. Because what did you do? You waved a flag around 5 p.m. on day one of the NHL free agency offseason. That's pathetic. On the flip side, Daryl Morey is potentially in trouble for tampering to get PJ Tucker. I'll take Daryl Morey any day of the week over Chuck Fletcher. Because at least one guy cares about winning. The other guy, not so much. And in an offseason where Howie Roseman has received praise even from people who can't stand his guts. Now the eyes turn to Dave Dombrowski. The Major League Baseball trade deadline is basically 2 weeks away. What are the Phillies going to do to put themselves in a position to win? And the reason why this is even bigger to me is because what you guys over at 973 ESPN on Twitter told us. When Mike Gill and I asked the question this week, which was the best Phillies sports team in the last 25 years to reach the championship game but not win a title, 60% said the Phillies. That's an extreme majority. The 2004 Eagles came in second with 18%. The 97 Flyers third with 11%. And the Sixers at 9.9%. 2001 Sixers. That means that there is a great emotional positive attachment to that Phillies team run from 2007 to 2011. Because at the end of the day, that wasn't even the best Phillies roster. That 2019, remember that was Pedro Martinez on that team. That wasn't Roy Oswalt. That wasn't the Four Horsemen when it was Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, Roy Oswalt, and Cole Hamels. No. The 2004 Eagles, they probably got more Pro Football Hall of Famers on that team than the 2009 Phillies have Baseball Hall of Famers, to be honest with you. But there is an emotional attachment and connection with the Phillies that you don't find with some of these other teams. And now the Phillies go into this weekend. 3 games set down in Miami. You lost 4 in a row. You got to turn it around. You won 7 out of 9, then you lost 4 in a row. And frankly, 2 of those 4 losses you could have won because you lost them both 4-3. So, what now? Well, now you got to pick up yourself off the ground, dust yourself off, do a little, stretching, and get back to work. You got Gibson tonight, TBD tomorrow, Nola on Sunday. And you face Alcantara tonight. He's their best pitcher. So you're hoping that Gibson can at least keep it close enough that you might be able to outlast Alcantara again. And the Marlins throw Rogers on Saturday, Castano on Sunday. On paper, they should win the game on Sunday. But tonight and tomorrow are big. You got to go into the All-Star break with positive vibes. The team has got to show the city that they're still trying to win. So during the All-Star break, Dave Dombrowski can start doing his little magic. And hopefully, Dave Dombrowski falls on the line closer to Daryl Morey than the Chuck Fletcher. Text board is open, 609-403-0973. It's the text board. You also can DM the show through the 973 ESPN mobile app. Thanks to First Bank of CLC. I'm Josh Hennig, hanging out with you on a Friday edition. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're staying safe out there. Traffic was crazy for me coming into the station this morning. So I hope you're being safe out there wherever you are at, staying hydrated, having a good day. Hanging out with you, talking sports. What can be better? Here on 973 ESPN.
Wake up with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
This is either the Eagles or the Cowboys division. That's how I look at it. I mean, the Eagles are a very talented team. We talked about, obviously, getting A.J. Brown. Like, they have all the pieces right there. Their defense is solid. But when it's all said and done, to me, it's between the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Listen weekday mornings at 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Alert! We're under construction at Sport Hyundai in Egg Harbor. It's time to make room for our new and improved facility, and you're the big winner. We're clearing out inventory with our incredible construction reduction sale. New Santa Fe's, Tucson's, and more in stock and priced to move today with Hyundai Assurance and America's best warranty, including the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Use our main entrance on Black Horse Pike. Construction reduction deals are once in a lifetime, and this inventory won't last. See for yourself in person or at sporthyundai.com.
The uh-ohs are out there. Scratches, dents, unexpected natural events. But with Mako and their magic, your car is no longer tragic. So when life throws you uh-ohs, Just say,
Better get Mako.
and go to Mako.com to book your appointment today.
Looking good, Mrs. Dubs.
The head groundskeeper at Thad's Golf Course just retired.
We need to find someone in the next 2 weeks. Someone with botany and management experience.
He needs a replacement because the greens are already looking a little rough.
Aeration. They need to know it all.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-478-6688. That's 1-800-478-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-478-6688. That's 1-800-478-6688.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Things are a bit tight lately. That's why I love Kohl's. I went back to school shopping and got kids' clothes for under $6, sneakers for less than $20, and an extra 20% off already great deals, like 25% off backpacks. And get this, you can save more with a Kohl's card and earn Kohl's Cash. Talk about more style and more savings. Select styles, 20% off ends July 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Welcome to Lowe's Summer Savings. Find great deals across the entire store and check out the back aisle for savings you can't pass up. Get up to an additional $500 off now on select major appliances. Or snag our Allen & Roth Harlow Brush Nickel Widespread Faucet. Was $99, now $79. Enjoy great savings all summer long at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Appliances in-store must ask cashier to apply discounted time of purchase. Online must enter applicable promo code at checkout. Savings vary based on purchase amount. While supplies last, about 7/14 through 7/20.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Almost 3 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage, the world's only nose cleaner that helps flush out airborne germs with powered suction. But what do doctors have to say about Navage? Here's Dr. Tonya Farmer, a board-certified ear, nose, and throat specialist.
Most airborne allergens and viruses enter through your nose. When that happens, it can cause congestion and irritation, and that just makes you feel miserable. You can get a cold, you can get flu, sinus infections, or even worse. Flushing your nose with a saline solution is the most effective way to flush all of those dangerous threats out of your nose. So now when patients come in my office, I tell them I highly recommend that you use Navage on a daily basis for overall good health and wellness.
And Navage is all natural and drug-free at Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
With GMF financing approved credit, excludes Corvette and prior sales.
Your car will never be worth more than right now at Bennett Chevrolet. Because Bennett's paying a minimum $7,000 for any trade, running or not. That's a minimum $7,000 towards any pre-owned vehicle in stock. And we have our best selection of super clean pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in years. And remember, we're paying a minimum $7,000 for even the worst car on or even off the road. Just think how much more you'll get for a good quality trade. And unlike other dealers, Bennett's not selling new Chevys over factory sticker. Remarkable. Plus, at Bennett Chevy, there's 0% available financing. And we can get you out of your lease early. Any lease, any make, any model. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy one of ours. For a quick quote, just stop by. There's never any pressure or obligation because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid based on your satisfaction. Find new roads at Bennett Chevrolet, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
Secretary of Agriculture Doug Fisher here, letting you know that whether you like them sweet or spicy, Jersey Fresh bell and hot peppers liven up any dish. Peppers are in season now at your favorite market. Love fresh? Buy local. Jersey Fresh.
You're listening to Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
With your thoughts and comments on the text board like Angel and Violent at 609-403-0973. Also can DM the show through the 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle City. Game Night being brought to you by the AC Airport. Plan your next vacation now. Spirit Airlines is offering nonstop flights from Atlantic City International Airport to Boston, Atlanta, San Juan, Miami, and other exciting destinations. Visit spirit.com today to book your next trip. You know, these conversations that we have when it comes to sports, trying to find perspective on these things, I think it's one of my favorite conversations because, as I tell you guys, I'm not interested in coming on this microphone and vomiting at you like some talk show hosts do, or just repeating what I heard somebody else say, or giving some hot take just to cause some controversy and make somebody mad. Listen, I'm here to give it to you real. And you look around sports right now, and I think Angel and Violin asks an excellent question, okay? Because the question is, where would you say the line, quote unquote, is when it comes to trying to win? And I would say that the answer is anything that doesn't break any moral codes and imperatives or laws or violate people's civil rights. This is sports. These are businesses that are making billions of dollars with athletes earning at a minimum hundreds of thousands of dollars, maximum hundreds of millions of dollars. The line is what you're willing to do to win. I guarantee you, if you are a Cowboys fan listening to the sound of my voice, and I told you, listen, I will guarantee you that your team will win a Super Bowl, but you're going to lose half your draft picks next year because Jerry Jones got in trouble for violating league rules and building his roster. You're going to tell me, that's fine. We won a championship finally. And all those Giant and Eagle and Washington fans who were pooing on us for years because we haven't won anything since the 90s will finally have one on them. You wouldn't care. See, the line is what you are willing to do within reason. That's what the line is. As Herm Edwards said, you play to win the game, okay? You look at a show. So one of my favorite shows on TV, and Mike Gill's watching it too, is The Blacklist. And it's not really a spoiler because the show's on for 9 years now. If you don't know what the show is, then it's not a spoiler. But here's the deal. The star of the show, played by James Spader, is basically an anti-hero. He's a guy who makes a deal with the government, saying, look, I'm the most wanted man on the FBI's most wanted list. But, and there's a but, I'm going to hand over to you every other criminal on earth that you don't even know how to get to. Some of them you don't even know exist. We're going to take some of the most evil people off the face of the earth, but you got to play by my rules. Now, in the show, one of the conversations for 8 seasons is, are we crossing too many lines under the umbrella of we're putting bad guys away? How many lines are too many lines to cross? Is there a point where you say it's too much, it's gone too far, or what is the line to say that we stopped innocent people from dying, that we took a sexual predator off the streets, that we stopped a chemical bomb that would have killed millions of people? We saved an airplane from crashing and killing innocent people on board, that we rescued children from a psychotic scientist who's experimenting on them. Are all of those things, those good things, worth basically making a deal with the devil? So when you ask me, Angel and Violent, over at 609-403-0973, where I say the line is, what is the line that you can't cross when it comes to trying to win a championship? I say the line is not violating people's rights and humanity. Half these league rules out there, when it comes to tampering and what you can and can't do, they're in place to create an environment of fair competition. Now, as we know, fair and right and equality, these are all very subjective terms that are used very flippantly by a society that doesn't actually understand the English language. And I don't mean to get all deep on you guys for a moment, but hear me out. Sports is very simple. You play to try to win. Your ultimate goal, if you go through a tank like the Sixers did with the process, or the Astros did back in the mid-2010s, you go through that down period to get the talent you need so you can ultimately win. That's the point of that. Even when you're losing, you're working toward trying to win one day. You're developing young talent. You're trying out new players. You're trying to see if the chemistry works. You're trying to see if an owner or a manager or a GM or a hitting coach or a quarterback coach, you're trying to see if these guys are the missing piece that try to win the ultimate thing, the championship. So all these rules out there that the NFL and Major League Baseball and the NHL and all these leagues put out there to enforce a perceived environment of fairness and competitive balance, it's only there mostly for optics. At the end of the day, you know why there's a luxury tax? Because the leagues know that people are not going to stay to a hard-nosed cap. And they want there to be some equitable penalty when it comes to exceeding said cap. When the Yankees won the 2009 World Series over the Phillies, do you think the Phillies and Yankees cared how much money they were spending? They got to the World Series. They were in a position to win a championship. Nobody cared in those organizations how much money they were spending on the payroll. Oh man, I gotta write this luxury tax check to Major League Baseball. No, they don't care. Because at the end of the day, if your goal is to win, the line is just don't break the law. Don't violate somebody's human rights. Don't do something evil or disgusting or ridiculous. That's part of the reason why I'm so disturbed by all of this stuff when it comes to Daniel Snyder, the owner of the former Washington Redskins, formerly Washington football team, now called the Washington Commanders. Okay? This guy has gone out of his way to not spend money at times. He has gone out of his way to not be the best owner the Washington fans deserve, a franchise that's steeped in tons of history before he got his hands on it. He is being accused of basically being a sexual predator and using his position as the owner of the team to force women into very uncomfortable, unethical situations, unethical on his part to force them to do something that they don't want to do. He's also being accused of cooking the books so he doesn't have to pay and report certain revenue streams. So he's in trouble with the SEC for that, the Security and Exchanges Commission, not the Southeastern Conference, when it comes to football. He's being accused of two very bad things, one in the business world and one in, the personal lives of people. There's never been a point in time where you, as the audience of football, thought, man, Daniel Snyder is doing whatever it takes to win. There's never been a point in time where you thought Daniel Snyder is willing to cross that line to win a championship. Realistically, you wondered how this guy ever became an owner. But yet this guy, who is unwilling to cross the line, quote unquote, as Angel and Violent asked, when it comes to trying to win, but he's crossed numerous lines when it comes to ethics and morality and people's rights. So to me, that's where the line is. Daniel Snyder, Donald Sterling, Jerry Richardson, that's where the line is. Art Briles and that scandal down in Baylor, people don't even want to talk about it anymore, where he was basically helping cover up for the disgusting behavior of his players. Urban Meyer's basically covering up things at Florida and then later Ohio State. That's crossing a line. Protecting bad people or doing bad things, that's crossing the line. Crossing the line is not tampering in free agency and getting an edge to acquire PJ Tucker. Tampering is not tweeting at a player saying, you look pretty good in a Sixers uniform. That's not crossing a line. That is disturbing the status quo that has been established by a group of people who half of them are completely unwilling to do what it takes to win. And all they care about is making the bottom line covered. They just want to make sure the bottom line is covered. They just want to make sure they're making more money than they're losing. They're just trying to run a business. Look, I think Jerry Jones is ridiculous at times. I think he says and does things that honestly make zero sense to me. There's a lot of things about Jerry Jones that honestly I don't like. But I will never accuse Jerry Jones of not trying to win. There's never been a point in time in my life, whether it was the 90s or the early 2000s or today, that I look at the Cowboys and I said, that Jerry Jones, he's not willing to do what it takes to win. Jerry Jones is very willing to do whatever it takes to win. I'm telling you, if you can guarantee Jerry Jones he wins one more Super Bowl before he dies, but he's going to lose draft picks and money, he'll make that deal with the devil right now. He don't care. Jerry Jones will do it. Because you know what? For Jerry, he wants to prove that he is a winning owner in this league. That he's more than just a great businessman. So, here's the issue. The issue is not if you're willing to cross the line. I'm going to take Angel's from violence question on the text board at 609-403-0973 and flip it around. The question shouldn't be, where would you say the line is? The question should be, why haven't other people crossed these fabricated lines? This is a city in Philadelphia that is as passionate as any on earth when it comes to their sports. And you have a guy in Chuck Fletcher who has the stones to get up in front of the media just a couple of weeks after saying we're going to go through an aggressive retool and wave the white flag and admit that the team was not willing to do whatever it took to bring Johnny Gaudreau home. Claude Giroux went back to Ottawa, and they welcomed him with open arms. In fact, they were saying on NHL Network that Ottawa worked Giroux's deal so that it doesn't hurt them long-term when they want to re-sign some of the younger players. Ottawa was willing to do whatever it takes. Flyers, not so much. Daryl Morey right now, according to Mark Stein, longtime NBA insiders reporting that the league is looking at a tampering violation when it comes to Sixers and PJ Tucker. Daryl Morey is willing to do what it takes. Chuck Fletcher, not so much. Howie Roseman found a way to bring in Hassan Reddick, James Bradbury, draft Nakobe Dean, and Jordan Davis, and acquire A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts' good friend, to play wide receiver. He did all these things to make the team better. He did whatever it takes. The bigger question that should always be asked is not, what line are you willing to cross? The question is, what are you willing to do to win? Chuck Fletcher is an embarrassment right now in a city with two other organizational executives who were willing to do whatever it takes to make their team better. Now the eyes of the city turn to Dave Dombrowski. And everybody wants to know, are the Phillies willing to do what it takes to reach the postseason for the first time since 2011? I'm Josh Hennig. This is Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank in Seattle City. We'll check with more what you guys have to say on the other side. Text board is open, 609-403-0973. You'll also get DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle.
Saturday morning in the locker room with Billy Schweim, three-time All-Big Ten linebacker Brad Quast joins me in the studio. The sportsbook consigliere Dave Sherapan checks in from Vegas with the latest betting trends. Hour 2, it's the Beach Patrol Report, brought to you by the Groundhogs Moving Company. We'll talk with the new chief of the Longport Beach Patrol, Tom Kress, and the results of the Bastian Callahan Memorial Races. Plus, the locker room has a big announcement for the up-and-coming Eagles football season. It's the locker room with Billy Schweim, Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN.
The seafood, extraordinary. The value, tremendous. The sunsets, on the house. The Boathouse Restaurant and Yuri's Waterfront Restaurant at the foot of the bridge in Wildwood. Experience the best of the Jersey Shore at Yuri's and the Boathouse.
Welcome to Lowe's Summer Savings. Find great deals across the entire store and check out the back aisle for savings you can't pass up. Get up to an additional $500 off now on select major appliances, or snag our Allen & Roth Harlow Brush Nickel Widespread Faucet. Was $99, now $79. Enjoy great savings all summer long at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Appliances in-store must ask cashier to apply discount at time of purchase. Online must enter applicable promo code at checkout. Savings vary based on purchase amount. While supplies last, about 7/14 through 7/20.
Looking good, Mrs. Dubs.
The head groundskeeper at Thad's Golf Course just retired.
We need to find someone in the next 2 weeks. Someone with botany and management experience.
He needs a replacement because the greens are already looking a little rough.
Water and aeration. They need to know it all.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, it's Coach Ice-T. Who's ready to spin?
We're starting with a big hill. Let's ride.
Why is Iced Tea leading our spin class?
It's probably the Honey Nut Cheerios. He found out they can help lower cholesterol. Now he's having fun taking care of his heart in all sorts of new ways.
That's right, Buzz. Now, spinners, really pour your heart into it and pick it up.
Learn more by picking up a box of Cheerios and check out our Pour Your Heart Into It audio workouts with Iced Tea and Buzz to get your heart pumping.
Meet Boost, the fizzing amazing vitamin boosts that make you feel like
I like to boost it, my vitamins can boost it. I like to boost it, we like to boost it.
Boost effervescent vitamins turn your H2O into H2O to give you a fizz-tastic feeling like
I like to boost it, my vitamins can boost it. I like to boost it, we like to boost it.
Because it's not just vitamins, it's Boost, the fizzing amazing vitamin boost.
Boost it.
With GMF financing approved credit, excludes Corvette and prior sales.
Your car will never be worth more than right now at Bennett Chevrolet, because Bennett's paying a minimum $7,000 for any trade, running or not. That's a minimum $7,000 towards any pre-owned vehicle in stock. And we have our best selection of super clean pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in years. And remember, we're paying a minimum $7,000 for even the worst car on or even off the road. Just think how much more you'll get for a good quality trade. And unlike other dealers, Bennett's not selling new Chevys over factory sticker. Remarkable. Plus, at Bennett Chevy, there's 0% available financing. And we can get you out of your lease early. Any lease, any make, any model. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy one of ours. For a quick quote, just stop by. There's never any pressure or obligation because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid based on your satisfaction. Find new roads at Bennett Chevrolet, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
DQ presents the sound of a summer double play. It's the sound of drumstick pieces and peanuts combined with world famous soft serve to make two all-star treats. The drumstick with peanuts blizzard and new caramel drumstick with peanut. One today or get it delivered at DQ.com. Official treat of MLB. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Almost 3 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage, the world's only nose cleaner that helps flush out airborne germs with powered suction. But what do doctors have to say about Navage? Here's Dr. Tonya Farmer, a board-certified ear, nose, and throat specialist.
Most airborne allergens and viruses enter through your nose. When that happens, it can cause congestion and irritation, and that just makes you feel miserable. You can get a cold, you can get flu, sinus infections, or even worse. Flushing your nose with a saline solution is the most effective way to flush all of those dangerous threats out of your nose. So now when patients come in my office, I tell them I highly recommend that you use Navage on a daily basis for overall good health and wellness.
And Navage is all natural and drug-free at Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
At Progressive, we know there's nothing like the feeling of riding a motorcycle with your crew on the open road. It's a primal, wild freedom, a feeling that would be impossible to recreate on the radio. Until now. Hit it, sound effects guy. No. We really lost our stride at the end there. Get 24/7 roadside assistance with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Roadside assistance subject to policy terms and limits and may require comprehensive coverage.
We're Town Square Media, and along with the awesome radio station you're listening to right now, we're publishers of best-in-class national entertainment brands like Taste of Country, Pop Crush, and more. And when combined with our local brands, we can reach over 70% of consumers in our community. At Town Square, all this digital clout puts us in a unique position to help local businesses grow with powerful marketing solutions. In addition to local radio, we're experts at web design and SEO, plus targetable advertising solutions like streaming TV, addressable geofencing, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, Spotify, search engine marketing, and so much more. That may sound like a lot of buzzwords, but really all that matters is we can deliver a relevant and ideal target audience to your business with data-informed decisions. No guessing, no waste, and you gain a trusted marketing partner with Town Square Media.
Take your business to the next level. Call our Director of Sales, Jim McLean, today at 609-910-5247.
Secretary of Agriculture Doug Fisher here, letting you know that whether you like them sweet or spicy, Jersey Fresh bell and hot peppers liven up any dish. Peppers are in season now at your favorite market. Love fresh? Buy local. Jersey Fresh.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Friday's Game Night being brought to you by AC Airport. Plan your next vacation now. Spirit Airlines is offering nonstop flights from Atlantic City International Airport to Boston, Atlanta, San Juan, Miami, and other exciting destinations. Visit Spirit.com today to book your next trip. Final opportunity for you guys to get in the conversation, 609-403-0973 on the text board and DMs into the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City. A couple things for me out of here. First of all, Phillies game just started. It's nothing, but it's the first inning. It's hard to project the game this early. But like I said earlier, the Phillies, if you're a Phillies fan, you need them to win 2 out of 3 this series. Because you want to stay within firing range of getting the wild card. If you're at least within range of getting the wild card at the All-Star break, it's going to make you feel a lot better no matter what happens before the trade deadline. Look, Dombrowski made some moves last year, and I think that a lot of people walked away realizing that he did a better job than they maybe even thought he could do. So I expect Dave Dombrowski to be able to make a move. The question is, will it be good enough to get this team back to the postseason? We'll find out. One of my favorite national news stories right now is what's going on with DeAndre Ayton. Okay? So for those who are maybe a little confused on the story, DeAndre Ayton basically manipulated the situation with the Suns and got what he wanted. So there are numerous reports out there that DeAndre Ayton wanted to get a max deal to stay in Phoenix. And Phoenix was not willing to give him that max deal. He becomes a restricted free agent, goes and finds a really sweet deal with the Indiana Pacers financially. And the Suns had until Saturday night to match it. According to reports, they've already matched it. So ultimately, DeAndre Ayton used the Pacers to get what he wanted from the Phoenix Suns, and in turn, actually crushed the Suns' ability to get Kevin Durant anytime soon. See, one of the keys to getting Kevin Durant, if the Suns were going to acquire him, was getting Ayton to be part of the deal for financial reasons. Because in the NBA, you have to make contracts match. It's just a fact of life. And, unlike NBA 2K video games, where you can turn off the cap settings, can't do that in real life. And now the reports out there that the Nets basically don't have a deal on the table for Durant that they consider acceptable. And it looks like that with the entire NBA basically getting ready to go on vacation for the rest of the summer in the aftermath of the NBA Summer League and all that talking with Sean Marks, who, by the way, is getting a contract extension by the Nets for what? I have no idea. But the point is that you got a situation where DeAndre Ayton basically used the Pacers to get the money that he wanted all along. And it was absolutely nuts to watch this all play out in real time and know that Kevin Durant wants to play for the Suns, but the Suns now are not in a position to acquire him because under league rules, you cannot trade DeAndre Ayton until after, I believe it's what Bobby Marks said, what was it, January 15th? Let me double check what Bobby Marks' tweet said, but basically not till January. So now, even if you wanted to trade for KD, if you're the Suns, you can't do it. And with Donovan Mitchell basically on the market right now, I'm sure there's a lot of teams who are having the conversation about who would they rather acquire. Would they rather acquire Kevin Durant for a historic return or Donovan Mitchell which will be expensive, but won't be completely undoable. And right now, the Suns have an even worse problem to figure out, which is matching the offer sheet of the Pacers is going to put them potentially in a $32 million penalty. So now the Suns are going to have to trim some contracts off their books to basically not flush $32 million down the drain. Now, under my previous conversation earlier, if all the Suns care about is winning, then they don't care about flushing money down the toilet. All they care about is, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win. And DeAndre Ayton, 4 years, $133 million, with an extra $32 million flushed down the drain, doesn't matter. Not very good business sense, though, but I think it's absolutely hilarious. It's honestly one of my favorite stories of sports right now. DeAndre Ayton will be the reason why Kevin Durant will not be a Phoenix Sun to start next season. Take that for a headline for your weekend. I'm Josh Hennig. I'll catch you on Monday.
Tomorrow on ESPN Radio.
Wow, he crushed it. Jack Peterson over the right field wall.
It's the final day of baseball before the All-Star break, and we head to San Francisco where Jack Peterson and the Giants welcome the NL Central leading Milwaukee Brewers.
We are tied and it's gone. Christian Yelich.
The Giants and Brewers. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Listen to Major League Baseball on 97.3 ESPN.